Welcome to Deb Stories, a place where African tales come alive with meaning. I share stories inspired by timeless lessons from the scripture, culture, and experiences that shape us. Now let's get back to the story. Long time ago, there lived a young prophet named Ojima. His eyes shone like the first drop of morning dew on a cashew leaf, clear and determined. He was known among his people for his quiet strength and the unusual calm that followed him wherever he went. Even elders agreed that Ojima walked like someone who had heard mysteries from beyond the sky. His homeland in Ida was peaceful, but the lands across the river were troubled. A king had risen in Odomalu, a place where the people had begun to carve their own paths and forgot the old ways. King Obaje built an altar that the elders said was not blessed by the heavens. Its smoke curled into the air with an unsettling boldness. One night, as the moon rose like a polished calabash, the spirit spoke to Ojima in his small mud hut. The voice was firm, gentle, and carried the weight of truth. Ojima, son of Adegbe, rise at dawn, travel to Odomalu, and speak against the altar of King Obaje. Take no food, drink no water, and return by another path. Trouble waits on that road, but you must walk it. The words settled in his chest like burning coal, strong, clear, and impossible to ignore. At the first break of dawn, Ojima dressed up himself, picked up his staff, and set his feet on the red earth path. The road to Odomalu wound through forests of okoho trees, whose large trunks stood like silent judges. Every footstep Ojima took seemed to echo with the charge laid upon him. Odomalu village was alive with drums, voices, and rising smoke. At the center stood the altar of King Obaje, tall and defiant, carved with symbols that gleamed under the harsh midday sun. As he arrived in Odomalu, he saw people gathered at the king's new altar. Smoke rose in thick coils. King Obaje stood proudly, wearing a robe woven with patterns of the sun and fire. The crowd parted silently as Ojima approached. Summoning courage, Ojima stepped forward and lifted his staff. "O King Obaje, hear the message of the one who formed the sky and the earth. This altar you have raised will crack. Its ashes will spill. A sign will follow. And a future ruler from the ancient line will arise and restore truth." Silence fell like a blanket. The crowd grasped. The king stiffened. Anger burned in his eyes. "Seize him!" Obaje commanded. But before the guards moved, the ground trembled. A crack ripped through the altar. Ashes erupted into the sky, scattering like frightened birds. The king's hand froze mid-air. Fear drained the color of his face. "Oh, prophet, forgive my command. Pray for me so that my hand may return to normal." And Ojima prayed. The king's arm loosened again, restored whole. King Obaje invited him to stay and have some refreshments with them. But Ojima said, "I cannot stay. I must obey the command given to me." Far away under the shade of ogbono trees, the old prophet Igala listened to his sons recount everything they had seen. Once he too had carried divine fire, but age had cooled it, and envy stirred quietly. "Bring me my donkey," Igala said. He rode with surprising speed, following the dusty track until he saw Ojima resting under a broad shade tree. "Are you the young prophet from Ida land?" "Yes, I am," Ojima answered. "Come with me, eat and drink. I too am a prophet. A heavenly messenger told me to bring you back." But the old man lied, and Ojima, young and trusting, followed him. In Igololo's clay house, The scent of roasted yam and palm oil stew drifted gently. Ojima ate, unaware that each bite carried a shadow. Suddenly, the old prophet's face froze. His eyes clouded. A tremor shook his voice. Igala prophesied, "Ojima, son of Adegbe, you disobeyed the divine command. You will not return to your homeland. Your journey ends today." The room grew silent. Even the wind outside stopped to listen. Ojima's heart sank. Yet he did not protest. Instead, he rose, thanked Igala for the hospitality, and stepped outside, determined to face the fate awaiting him. On the return road, Ojima walked with dignity, although sadness shadowed his steps. Not far away from Igala's home, near a lone iroko tree, a lion emerged silently. Its golden mane swayed as it approached. The air shifted, thick with tension. It simply struck once. Swift and sure, Ojima fell to the earth, peaceful and still. Strangely, the lion did not eat him. It stood guard beside his body. Travelers ran to tell the tale, their voices rising like startled birds. Igala heard the news. Regret struck him deeper than any blade. The story of Ojima moved across generations. Travelers repeated it. Elders taught it. Children whispered it by firelight. The cracked altar of Odomalu stood as a silent reminder that truth cannot be silenced and science cannot be hidden. For the mission was true, the deception was real, the prophecy lived, and the signs spoke louder than any voice. And so the journey of Ojima lives on, wherever the wind carried the ancient songs of Igala. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos.